So sometimes the gimmick of what I'm trying to do gets in the way of what I was originally trying to say. I was talking about the last video, the one that was only a couple of minutes, the plan A.5. I was talking about the procrastination and the overthinking thing. So I really, really, really wanted to get the gag where it sounded like I might have been saying something like test tube or testing or test eagles or something. Test Eagles is actually the band name, which I think is kind of funny. There's a basketball team in, I think it's somewhere near Newcastle in Australia, called the Merkins. I'm not going to tell you what a Merkin is. You can look that up for yourself. But what happened is I got really sidetracked in my own brain by the gag of the low res mic on the low res image that takes a lot to set up because it's on a webcam and it looks crap, but it doesn't look ye olde crap. It just looks crap. So I've put a bunch of stuff on top of it and changed the color and everything else. And in the microphone, I've actually filled full of plastic, like a plastic wrapper off lollies or something. I don't know what I did. And then I have to put on a radio announcer voice to make it sound fully like it's, and it's still not like rough and unclear as it should be. But one of the videos that I have playing as an overlay over to make the video look ye olde is has a bunch of background noise in it, like a VHS hiss, and then that sort of makes it sound crapper. And that's basically, I lost my train of thought in that joke. And that's part of the journey of this whole thing is overthinking and over preparing. And what I do is I overthink things, but I don't actually over prepare. So I overthink things. I just think about them and think about them and think about them. And then by the time I get to the end of thinking about them, I go, well, why bother? It's not going to be the way I envisaged, so I'm not going to do it. So really early on when I started doing YouTube stuff, I thought I'll do thumbnails. You know, they cut out themselves and they put a green background on it and they make a stupid face and then they point at something and then they'll have a clickbait caption that has no relevance whatsoever to what the subject actually is, or if it is, it's only in passing, like, is this the worst video camera ever made? Well, the answer is probably no, but that's just the nature of the game. That's the game. That's the passing it from one thing onto the next to try and kick a goal. I think most of it is disingenuous, and I'm not trying to be disingenuous. This is like a conversation, well, it's mostly between me and myself, but anyone that watches this, it's about me being me. Now, I might be a slightly stylized version of me, because I can assure you I wouldn't have my Lego stacked like that if I wasn't pointing a video camera at my head. But if we look at the other camera, I mean, look how messy all that shit is. I've just moved into this office and I haven't managed to sort anything out. There's also a shelf right behind me that I just bashed into it. It doesn't have any shelves on it. It's just a shelf frame. Because in my move, I don't know where I put the shelves. They're in the shed somewhere. The shed that used to be my podcast studio. And so every time I come out here, here's the other thing, the way my brain works. Every time I come out here, I walk past the shed where I spent a heap of time and energy. I built a desk with a monitor underneath it so that it wouldn't be in front of people, so that I could actually do interviews with 3 or 4 people at a time. And I got microphones and mic stands. Okay, it was all cheap garbage. This is a new Rode one. This is a bit better, even though it does have a tendency to fly away all by itself whenever the hell it wants. It's probably because the mic I've got's not quite heavy enough for it. But so every time I come out here, and I've got the main power turned off to here, so I don't need to turn every individual thing off in the room. I just turn the main power off so it's just not sucking power, because, you know, electricity is so expensive these days that you sort of need to limit as much as you can. I'm not going to go around and unplug everything in the house, but not helping other people spend my limited fundage is probably something that I should be doing. So I turn it off, but every time I do, I look into the door of the shed, or look at the door of the shed, and all I see is that I spent all that time and energy trying to build what I'm building here, trying to forward this idea, this concept of normal people having a conversation, not influencers. I hate that word. And I don't think they influence anything at the end of the day. They influence their own bank accounts. It's how you end up with, these people that do videos every single day for years, and then they just end up just with the most rotten garbage. And then streaming, don't even get me started on so much of the stuff that gets streamed is like, oh, somebody else made a video that other people watch, so I'll stick it on stream and occasionally make a comment on it, even though I'm probably not even watching it in the first place. Want to avoid doing that. Not saying I won't ever do a movie review. Some movies, some movies need reviewing. Watched Dungeons and Dragons the other day. Been meaning to watch John Wick 4 for ages. Watched A New Hope part, 26? Oh, sorry, no. Sorry, it was the same plot. The exact same story beats, but that was Top Gun Maverick. Old guy trained young people to shoot a thing into a hole. Anyway, although I think I've seen porn that's essentially the same plot too. Anyway, I was just coming back to say that I'm not planning on doing multiple videos a day, let alone a week. I'm going to try and put out one thing a week. I'm on top of trying to put out something about farming or building a garden bed or collecting water or something like that in a suburban, not an urban environment. Although I keep thinking of my dad's unit and how no one uses the roof of his units, and I actually think that would work really, really, really well for a community garden that gets really good sunlight. It would be really, really easy to set up some sort of greenhousey sort of thing, and it'd be really easy to collect water up there. But that's a completely different story, and there we go by overthinking. I'm now thinking about that instead of thinking about what I should be thinking about, which is getting inside, eating some dinner, having a shower, and hanging out with my family, because that's what I really like to do. And I've got a bucket-headed dog and a bucket-headed cat because they both got fixed. Thought it would be a good idea to do them both at the same time, and it really wasn't. Couple of bucket-headed animals that need some attention. But that's all I've got to say about that. If you can't be good at it. And well, I don't know. See, I've overthought this all, and I've spent so much time not doing anything that I don't even remember how I end these things. I suppose just turning off the video camera would probably be a start, wouldn't it?